I said I was going to do a video and I want to show us three things in that video. So I've put two pictures here so that we can see the three things I want to talk about. So I'll talk about the first two, then the third one I'll just explain it so that we see perspective. That's what we usually try to bring to people. So you can check the information you've seen. Okay. Maybe you've not seen them arranged in that way before and you've not seen that pattern before. So we put that before you, we'll let you make your own conclusions is what we do. Okay. Now, the first is the story of this between Mahdi and Russell. Russell Hanks, I think, is the name of that American ambassador. And I think the whole story is that basically, okay, this American ambassador gave this Nigerian statesman, okay, a bomb, okay, to detonate in Kano somewhere in sometime in 1995 in Kano. Okay. Long story short, did you know that it, it, America and the United Kingdom and the Western world, in the front, they are Christian. Eh? At their back, they are Islamic. At the center, they are demonic. Okay? The center is Lucifer. Now, I'm not talking about just about every whitish person you see, not necessarily. For the most part, every Caucasian person you see in your grocery store, in your airport, your workplace, and stuff like that, they are as clueless as any Nigerian, largely speaking. Okay? Right? But the government and, the three-lettered organizations and all of that are definitely not, they are terrible. Okay? So now the second part I want to bring to you is that did you know that the same times when this man was apparently terrorizing Nigeria, literally, if that story is true, by the way, allegedly, okay? That's the same time they're making movies. I mean, all I needed to do, because it came to my mind when I heard that story about this Russell situation, that can we check, because I know that when you watch American movies, they tell you America is always the hero, they're always saving people from bombing them, they're always a good guy, right? And I searched, can we just search around 1995, the same time when they literally were blowing up Nigeria? Is there any American movie that talks about terrorism and let's see who the hero is? Of course, sure enough, these movies, right? These movies that you see here, right? They were made around that time. And guess, well, it is an American. The way that Mahdi described Russell was that a lanky, white, long-haired, blue-eyed man walked to me and gave me his business card. Right? Exactly what they will show you in the movies as the hero guy. And you want to perm your hair to be like that. You want to, if possible, change your eye color to be like that. Because you think that's the hero. You think that's how Jesus looks. Oh my God. The third point I want to bring, now this is the kicker. Now you tell me yourself, what is wrong with an African man, somebody from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Togo, right? Who comes up with, because I've overheard it, I'm thinking maybe it's a dream, that came up with a doctrine that said, watch this, that a Christian who decides to become a Muslim has not lost his salvation, whatever that salvation even means to start with. A Christian who decides to become a Muslim has not lost their salvation, right? So what do you think is wrong with that kind of person? How can you define his problem? How do you begin to explain to him how, what is going on, right? Because, like I said, what Christianese does for you, I like to separate that between Christianity and Christianese, just so that, not to be misunderstood. So there's this Christianese people, they have this pseudo grace. I also not call it hyper grace. I'll just call it pseudo grace. They live in this bubble, right? They are the most cognitively dissonant people you will find on the earth. They're the most docile human beings, most proud and braggadocious human beings you will find on this earth. And they are so lost in the Western world and Western foolishness. And this is it. They came in 1914, of course, before then. And, well, I also pop up the coin here. You see, this is a British Nigerian coin, supposedly, right? And they saw that these two people were divided. You decided to keep the northern part, right, the way they are. You see that they're a little bit more aggressive and all that. So you kept those ones that way. And you gave that your front side, the Christian side, to the southern people. And you start making them go after your Western world. You teach them your education, teach them many things, let them begin to learn Western education, right? And they become docile at the end. You have that kind of similar docility in the Western world, but there is a system to cushion for that kind of excess, you see. But now they've taken the rug off of under your feet, and you discover that people have just become more or less useless for themselves, okay? So just to help you begin to think, right? what is sponsoring the doctrine and the mindset you have, and there's this grace thing you've just painted for yourself. You know, just I just wanted you to think about that and take that thought away. That this Christianese thing that you have is a subset of the Western world. Is a product of it. All right. Anyway, the video is already too long. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless you.